had to renumber them. I screwed up and skipped the number.
Oh, I didn't notice. I just look at what the last one was and add one.
Yeah.
Is it fixed?
It's fixed now.
Okay. All right.
So this will be 89.
89?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be at my next birthday.
That's why we did it.
Yeah, totally. This is another special holiday edition of The Ascertainers, Singapore's #1 podcast, apparently. We had a little anomaly with our stats, and apparently somebody listened to every one of them or something. We would get like 80 downloads in a day.
They liked the first one, and they thought, I'll listen to all of them, but not today.
Have you ever done the math on like roughly 40 to 45 minutes times 80? You can't even do that in a day.
Once you download them, you can listen to them anytime you want.
Oh, see, Mark's a technical guy here. Anyway, it was special edition is special because my mom, this is Jim. Well, that's Mark, by the way. Want to say hi, Mark?
Hi, Mark.
There you go. Mark's the original ascertainer. I'm just his special guest. Hold on, I'm just a guest, and a special guest is my mom, Ellie, who is up visiting for Thanksgiving, and we did a couple of adventures otherwise, but you want to say hi?
It was very exciting this morning. You took me to get a new license plate. Ooh.
Oh, how did that work out?
It was perfect. And I even can tell you, we go. So I got it memorized and everything.
And after she memorized, she goes, I don't know my other license plate. I'm like, okay,
I never knew it.
You definitely don't need to know
there
it
was
now.
a B in it, I remember that. But my dear son put it on my car. Just the back, not in the front, too.
Well, I'll thank him when I go upstairs. Because
Okay.
I know this son would never do anything nice.
Oh, we
like
have
that.
another guest upstairs, but I was the one who froze my digits off. So anyway, she had to get a new plate. So her tabs were July of 23. So she came out of, she's a fugitive no longer because, but I think they dinged her for 2 years because
Yes,
it was like
I will.
$120 or something.
120.
I would think they would do that, yeah.
Yeah, they knew too much.
But I feel good about it.
Well, it doesn't matter how you feel. You're now legal
I'm
again.
feeling like I won't get pulled over.
I sure hope you don't.
No, but
Yeah, but it was kind of exciting running from the law all the time.
Didn't you teach us that when we were kids? Just step on it. Wait till they get out of their car, then floor it. Yeah.
No, I don't recall.
Don't tell them nothing about your representation.
Anyhow, that was
yeah.
our first adventure of the day. Now it's just nice to be talking with the Ascertainers. I'm happy to be back.
All right.
And Lord willing, I might be back again.
We'll see. We'll see how you do. I mean, that's really, it's not so much about the Lord. It's about your performance. That's
Okay.
That's the key indicator here. Also, hot tip, if you need to get license tabs, if you go on November 20, or if you go the day after Thanksgiving, you don't even have to take a number. It was empty in there at the Apple Valley one, which is usually quite bustling.
It was perfect.
It was just walk right in, do the biz. I had to get tabs, so then she's like, oh yeah, I think I need them too. I'm like, yeah, you really do. So all worked out. Had a nice lady who had to stand by the door, and it was cold as hell. So she was wearing gloves. That's not a way to go to work. Have to wear gloves indoors. First, attendant right straight from the door.
Yeah.
Very nicely.
She was nice. That's like a private entity. It's not like a government. I don't get how they do it, but they're like an agent, like a licensed agent. This is a pretty good podcast so far, don't you think? This is for those that are having trouble getting to sleep. You should be asleep by now, but if not, we're going to talk in slow, dulcet tones. So, Mom already mentioned you are 88 years young.
I am.
How old did you think you would get when you were a kid? Did you ever go like, well, I don't think I'm going to make it to 88. I'm pretty confident I won't make it to 88. I might not make it to morning.
I didn't really think about getting older. However, my mom,
My grandma.
your grandma, 72, but Dad almost to 88.
He was only 88? I thought he was older than that.
No.
He just seemed older than that.
There was a 14-year age difference between my mom and dad.
Ew.
So I didn't really think about being...
Do you know how old they were when they got married?
Oh, my mom was only about 22,
thank God.
do the math.
All right. Well, I was worried that, 22 and then he was 36.
Good with the math.
Pretty good. I'm working on my times tables. That's that would turn some heads in this day and age, but, hey.
Not at that age. If they're younger than that, then people look a little sideways.
I suppose. It's also a matinee. It is about noon.
It is 5 of.
5 of. Nobody says of like you. I think most people say till. Geez, what time, if it was 11:55, what would you describe that as if you were not saying 11:55?
Yeah, 5 till.
5 till, 5 to, and you got 5 of over here. 25 or 6 to 4.
Remember, I'm old.
You are old.
I am.
You can hear us this time. Last time we had her on, the first time she was ever on, she kept saying, "Oh, I can't hear out of my headphones." And then afterwards we saw that they were not plugged in. So sorry for calling you crazy.
Wasn't.
You recovered well.
Well, I just really enjoy being a part of this. I mean, I feel real professional.
You got your little headphones on over there. I know that our sponsor, Newt's, Apple Valley's premier, hot juicy burger, ice cold beer, fresh hot popcorn, or fresh popped popcorn, and always hot pull tab box Emporium. Sorry, just took that one from you.
No, do it.
We weren't rehearsed. But anyhow, Corey, who's kind of our boss, the general manager at Newt's, says that his favorite episode is the George Washington tooth one. So I thought, wow, out of all the genius material we put out, that's the one he likes best. So I don't know what that says about us. So no pressure, but you got to deliver today.
Well,
Today's it.
I don't have another tooth story.
Make another one up. Everyone knows that one was fabricated. I'm kidding.
No, it's true.
Can I go ahead?
Well, it's that I still think I have George Washington's last tooth. It's in a little wooden box, and there's a
Would it be ironic if the box was made out of tooth, but the tooth inside was wooden? That'd be kind of fun.
With no cavity. It was a gold filling, but it had fallen out because it was old. But I still have the little wooden box and all the description of it.
Can I ask a question?
I think so.
Wasn't he known for having like wooden teeth, like wooden dentures?
Yes.
What was he doing with a gold filling?
Well, that was before he lost his teeth. Then he got wooden teeth.
You'd think they'd give him gold teeth. I mean, he's the president.
That was a long time ago.
I wonder how old he was. Those people used to die at like 40.
I do not know that.
Well, got something to prep for next time.
Longevity wasn't,
No.
If you made it to 60.
Well, it's interesting that's like we haven't adjusted that. When Social Security came along, okay, I think that the average lifespan was, you probably died about 5 years after you qualified for Social Security and Medicare.
You're right.
Now people are living, 20 years past it.
Hello.
I see you right there. All right.
As I said, I'm grateful for every day. Every day's a gift.
Okay.
But that was FDR that started Social Security.
The Great Society, I believe you might be right. I don't know much about history.
Yes.
Don't know much about history.
Oh, that's a song.
Don't know much biology. Yes. What a wonderful world.
I may be old, but I know things.
Now I got that song stuck in my head. Paul Simon, I think, sang it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Don't know much about. Oh wait, shoot.
Wasn't it in Animal House? Whoever.
Yeah, during that scene.
Boy, good memories.
Not really. Yeah. So I had a question about. So Thanksgiving was yesterday. We had a nice meal, a small group. But happy for everyone that was there. When you were growing up, did you guys go somewhere for Thanksgiving, or did you have it at Nana and Papa's house?
Nana, my mom and dad's, Nana and Papa's.
Okay. Would a lot of people show up, or just y'all?
Oh, we usually had 20-ish.
Wow.
Well, aunts, uncles, cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, my mom worked so hard in the kitchen. But after that, we kids got to do the dishes.
Yeah.
But
Any of them break?
oh,
Was
we
that
used,
contentious?
We used to
'Cause
flip each other with the tea towels. Ouch.
you used to snap towels at each other? I didn't think that would have been invented yet.
Well, we have good memories of.
What was it like when everything was in black and white? I mean, see, when I see old pictures and they're black and white, I just assumed everything was in black and white. But then you see a color one, it's like, oh, yeah, I suppose. You want to take back how bright I am after that comment?
Oh, not really.
Okay. Well,
That's like the old saying that Wizard of Oz, the first part was filmed in black and white, and then color came
and
along
then it turned during the movie.
when they started doing color movies. That's what I was told as a little kid, and I always believed it, that they started using color film for the first time.
they were out. I tell you what, I don't like the beginning of The Wizard of Oz. I don't
Well,
like
that's
that,
not
when
true.
that storm comes up.
Who's ever listening?
Oh, and that.
They wanted to make it show that they
that-
went into a magical place, and that's why they did color.
But The Wizard of Oz is real, right?
And the
Yes.
witch. Ooh.
See, I didn't like that lady riding her bike. That was, when the tornado came and she's just riding her bike in midair. It scared the shit. I didn't like that one.
At one point, she was riding a broom.
Oh, I think it turned into a broom then.
Yes.
There you go.
What special effects? Mark, have you seen Wicked yet?
No.
You planning to?
No.
Come on, Mark. You can tell us.
And
When you were a pilot, you probably would have gone to another city and just put on sunglasses and walked into the theater.
You're the guy that loves Grease.
The
You are a musical type of guy.
lubricant and the movie, yes. What? Blaspheme Grease.
But you're making fun of me, and you're a show tunes
I
guy.
wasn't making fun of you. That's how you took it. So we're watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade thing, and I see that there's a Broadway production of The Outsiders. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah. If we go out to New York to visit our oldest, it's like, oh, maybe we can go see The Outsiders. And then they started doing their little dance thing.
Are they doing the West Side Story?
That's all it was. It was just, gang people dancing. And
you have to know how to snap your fingers.
you know what? I think between you and me, we got enough arthritis running through our veins that's... In your case, you might not be your finger snapping. It might literally be your finger snapping. But it's hard to duplicate.
I'm just glad I have fingers.
That's true. That's true. My mom burned her hands really bad when she was a kid.
I almost lost my hands at 2.
Yeah.
And then people say to me now, "You're just so helpful." And I say, you know what? I'm glad I have hands to be helpful.
How did you do it?
You know what an electric mangle spins?
It's like isn't it like a press? Like two
Yes.
wheels kind of that go together?
No, it's a wheel, and then the thing comes down, and my mom used it for doing the sheets
Okay.
to run them through. And so that one day, we had just gotten back from a trip, and so Mom wanted to wash and do those things. And so I'm 2. We had a story and a half, and so she's doing the sheets, and she says to me, "Now, Eleanor, I'm going downstairs, and you stay up here." Well, the telephone rang, and it was my grandma.
Okay.
And so her back was to the steps. And so here I am, very quietly sneaking down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't see me, but I could see across a low mantle a bottle of Coca-Cola. So I walked. I don't remember this. I was told this because I was 2.
And the Coca-Cola probably had real cocaine in it
Yeah,
at
she was
that time.
jonesing.
Anyhow, I slowly made myself, got up on the chair, and trying to reach for that bottle of Coke, I lost my balance and fell and hit the lever. And because I'm falling, I'm holding onto that roller.
Oh.
And down it came. I guess the neighbors a block away heard my scream.
Dang.
And my mom, with a screech, she turned and she literally threw her whole body across the room to hit that lever. Our family doctor said if that had been any hotter, she would have had no hands. So, as I said, I like to be a helping hand.
Well, there you go.
Do you know how long it took to heal?
Well, I don't know that for sure, but I had
They did skin grafts.
in the skin
wow.
graft and on the inner side of my thighs.
Hey, let's keep it clean. It's a family podcast. I'm not going to talk about my mom's inner thighs, at least not with her here.
But anyhow, I wore little, as I said, I don't remember this, but I was told this, and little mittens, and in the pain, it was painful.
Imagine.
But doctor would come over and would have to do a little dressing in that. It must have been awful. But as I said, I have my hands, and yes, they're very well. When I was younger, and my brother and sister were very unkind. You know how that can be. They used to call me burnt bacon crisp hands.
Wow, that rolls off the tongue. Also, kind of dickish.
So it made me cry. Anyhow, I just, they were me, and I didn't even think about, and it was interesting that very few people would say to me, "What happened to your hands?" I talked, I'm talking with my hands and everything, but I'm just grateful that I had my hands.
All right. Okay, well, I'm not sure if we can get any more depressing than that, although we'll try.
Well, but it's a good, hey.
We can't blame the Coors Lights on forgetting things, so.
No, but we had a few last night.
It's true. All of us.
I didn't.
Mom especially. Wow, she was out of hand.
No.
Mom is not an imbiber, although I think you had a little Bailey's Irish cream there, didn't you?
That was so funny. I just wanted an absolute tablespoon at the most, because I just thought it is, I just thought I'd try it. And then
Now you're hooked.
Then I put some water. I'm going to drink now.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked kind of cloudy because
she had a little juice glass, and she had a little 2 fingers of Bailey's in it. And then she just goes and pours water into that glass, and it looked like it was murky. It was quite murky water. I'm like, where did you get that water?
It was like a little frosty.
Yeah.
It was, anyhow. I think we're off the track.
I know, this happens.
We're always off the track.
You seen the look on your face just there when you realized, oh no. We're off track. Okay, so your favorite Thanksgiving side, your favorite thing to eat at Thanksgiving, not including turkey.
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
That's your kink?
Yummy.
I got to go with those green beans with the
onions,
French onions, or whatever. What do you call those? Deep fried onions?
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
Come in a can.
Always use the French cut beans.
See, I think we've talked about this before.
We have.
I don't know. I thought French cut were the ones that are real
thin,
like shredded.
Yes.
Thin.
I just like the ones that are.
I like the regulars.
Just cut beans.
Well, I used the regular beans cut and didn't turn out.
Baked beans? Yeah. I wonder if that would taste like. Probably good. I mean, bean, right?
I don't know why it turned out brown.
I just got to make it a few weeks ahead of time. Store it in the car, uncovered. So Mark breaks pescatarianism on special occasions, and you had turkey yesterday.
I did have turkey.
Today?
No.
Look at you. Maybe you can eat turkey.
I probably could.
Burger.
But I just
blow people's mind if you ordered a. But you can't eat beef. Beef doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Do you know that Mark's a pescatarian? And do you know what that is?
I do not.
Okay, it's a person who doesn't eat meat but eats fish and eggs.
See, look, I'm 88 and I just learned something new.
There you go.
Say it again.
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Yeah, it's also a dinosaur.
People would usually say a vegetarian.
Yes.
But then they came up with all these categories.
Yes.
Of different types of vegetarian. And I was
But
thinking,
you have fish in there. So
I'll eat fish. Yeah.
Well, pescatarian.
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 Just like that.
See, look, I'm 88 and I just learned a new word.
And you also just repeated that, so you're revealing your 88.
But when you get old, you tend to forget what you just said.
As Jim retraced what we were talking about, we forget.
Yeah, just,
right.
You don't do
Every
it with
podcast.
We don't do it with such style and grace as you. Okay, Mark, what's your favorite Thanksgiving thing?
Green bean casserole would be mine also.
All right.
With the French cut beans.
Oh, different style of bean. Okay. Hey, why don't we do a real quick radio game? There's $47 in the pot. Oh, hey, I got my wallet on me. Look at that.
Wow.
Are we gambling?
Thanksgiving
It's always
miracle.
a gamble. Oh, I got to put it for my mom. That was $50. $50 in there. Mark and I picked out some songs or some bands for you. And I like your chances. We loaded you up like rock star.
This could be embarrassing because I don't know a lot of songs.
No, we picked them for you. All you got to do is sit there and look good. So the bands, the radio game is a game where we will each name four bands. And if one of those bands happens to be playing on a local radio station, after everyone's declared, we have this little earbud we throw in and listen to that local radio station. And then whatever song is playing, if it matches one of the guesses or one of the previously mentioned bands, that person is the winner of the radio game, which entitles them to cash and prizes. Well, actually, the cash is the prize. Mark and I won't drain it's up to us, but last time I won. Oh, by the way, did I mention I won?
You're keeping the streak going.
I took $1 just as like a memento, but I think we want to try to keep juicing up for the guests. And I think my brother Jeff, if Mom doesn't win it, I think he's gonna gun hard for it. So, especially since he was on one episode, he won the radio game, but we didn't air that episode, so he's kind of a major asterisk. So the bands that my mom picked, that Mark picked for my mom: Van Halen, Journey, Led Zeppelin, and AC/DC, either singer. How about you, Mark? What do you got?
Iggy Pop, Pearl Jam, Mr. and Collective Soul.
Wow, what an eclectic mix. See if you can spot the theme. Neil Young, April Wine, Aldo Nova, Rush.
I can't spot it.
Canada. Those are all Canadian acts.
There can't be that many from Canada.
I know, I was struggling, and finally Rush was my final one. It's a song. Is that Molly Hatchet? No, it's Skinner. It's The Breeze. All right, you didn't win. Sorry, Mom. Have to go back to washing dishes. Yeah, look at you doing the chin. See the chin? If we were at the dinner table, if we were giving my mom too hard a time, the chin would get going, and that was like when a porcupine goes and shows the quills. You knew that if you didn't stop, you were probably going to hear from the old man. So
wow.
When I start doing that, that's your cue.
And you know the expression, cheer up, things could be bad. I cheered up, and sure enough, things got bad.
You all right over there? What? I've never heard. That's an expression?
Cheer up, things could be. Cheer
could
up.
Be worse, I thought
things
it was.
Could be, and thank you, I'm old. Things could be worse.
There it is.
I cheered up, and sure enough, things got worse.
But
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Did you have some Baileys today?
Pardon?
Did you have some Baileys today?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just checking. Are you gonna try to drive home this afternoon?
I will drive home.
There,
and
that's
I'm
a
going to
confidence.
leave in about an hour and 45 minutes.
With
Maybe a
new
little sooner than
tags.
And I hope, those old turnarounds are...
She don't like the roundabout, Mark.
Ooh.
She
They're
has
not
psyched
made,
herself
they're
out
not made
so
for
heavily.
older people.
If you have to take a left-hand turn, how do you do it? Tell me. You go around and then take a left. Like, follow it until you
Never
taken a left.
Yeah.
Can you describe it differently? Because
You never take a left in a roundabout.
Yeah, always go right.
Oh, no, because it's going right.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
I know that. But as I said, I know they have it's a good reason, but they just sort of freak me out.
You got this. You got here. You'll get home.
And I'll hopefully not call you like I did that one time.
I bet the stoplight was a real new thing for you too when those came out, right? Did they have those before, or have you always had? Have there always been stoplights? Or is that like happened in your lifetime, in your
Yes.
88 years?
But they are different. They used to be horizontal.
Okay.
I think they are still in Europe in some places.
Yeah, see?
Sometimes you'll see a little horizontal one, a little horizontal bop. What year were you born?
1936.
36. So
I'm 88
Okay.
and doing great at 88 and hope to be doing fine at 89.
all right. Well, once you get to 90, you're screwed. There's none that rhymes with that. But
I tried to think of something that would go with it, and I thought, Lord, whenever you call me, I'm ready. No problem.
what if I went like, Ellie, Ellie?
Where'd that come from?
No, I would never. I shouldn't blaspheme. That would be bad. So when you were growing up, there was a war going on. Do you remember any of that?
No.
Did you guys have like a bomb shelter in the house? You didn't have anything like that, did you?
Yes. It was the rat sculler. It was where you put coal, because we had a coal furnace. And so that would be where we would go.
If there was like a bomb.
Right.
So you remember.
And there were
the
air
war.
raids, and then we would seek shelter.
Did your dad, was he a military guy? Did he have to
No.
serve or no?
No,
Okay.
he did not. My brothers enlisted in the Army.
Did he?
Hmm.
Huh. I know he went to like boarding school, didn't he?
He went to ROTC.
Was that because he was an unruly kid?
Well, my mom thought it would be good. He went to a military academy, which was very disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sad that he made poor choices, and 42's way too young to die.
There's not even a saying for 42.
No.
42 and nothing to do or something like that.
Where were you born then?
Cincinnati, Bethesda Hospital, Cincinnati, Ohio.
But
This
there
is-
weren't bombings in Ohio.
Big Bomb wanted you to think that there were going to be. No, I thought they did they always had from the dawn of the nuclear age.
Go under the desk.
Boy, they used to build a desk to withstand bombs. Not so much anymore. Now it's so loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
A bomb would just rip through a school.
Well,
Why bother?
I'm grateful that we have not been in a war.
Don't jinx it.
And there, sadly, and that's biblical, there are wars and rumors of wars. That's biblical.
Rumors? Great album. What do you think? Best track? No?
A rumor of what?
Roundabout? Excellent song. Wrong album. But anyway, all right. I'm trying to bring it back to music.
I'm still back to I have a problem with those roundabouts.
You're not the only one.
Do you know what a self-fulfilling prophecy is? It's when you think something into being, where it's like, that dog's going to bite me, and you kind of figure out a way to make that dog bite you. The roundabout in your head is a big, giant, Goliath, and you there, little David, with your sling and rock, with your Coca-Cola addiction. Anyhow, you can conquer it. It's in your head.
I'm working on it.
You got it. I kind of want to follow you just to see what you'll do.
When I was in England for a while,
Oh,
we used to call them the circles of death.
Well, those were huge over there, though. weren't
They were,
and these are minis.
right,
These are minis.
lane
Oh, I
ones.
have a question.
Yeah.
How often do you hear that someone got a fender banged in a roundabout? I don't hear.
Almost never.
I've never read it.
Oh, I think there was just one at the Highway 3 and 50.
Oh, geez. Oh, come on, man. That's what she's going to take.
I know.
It's okay.
But I know they're for good, and so we want to be positive.
I'm concerned. So,
Yes,
what was the first car you drove?
the first car I drove, a Packard, 1950 Packard.
Wow.
Shift.
What does that mean?
And
Like a manual transmission?
you move the thing up and back.
Yes.
I'm glad this is a video.
It helps me. No.
But
Anyhow.
no, so you had to use a clutch and shift the gears manually.
Yes, step on
Okay.
that.
That's also for those that
Oh,
can't
no,
see.
that's wrong.
Okay.
1949 Packard Ultramatic, no shift.
Ooh.
No shift.
So that means
So
automatic transmission.
I just had to learn how to, stop and park, and my brother would take me to a parking, and just to be sure I knew what I was doing.
Really?
Now it's time for Ellie to go to graduate school in Tennessee.
Okay.
So so now we're talking about that 1949 black Packard 4-door with the bird on the front. And so she's taking me there. And she says to me when we're on the road, Ellie, I think you need to learn how to drive. And it's good. The roads are not real busy. Oh, I don't think so. But
hold on, you're confusing me. So that you had to drive a one of these?
Yep.
A shift? Okay. How'd that go?
On the road, and I did it. I mean, when
you're capable of so much more than you think.
And there you go for everyone.
Yeah, roundabouts included.
Anyhow, I did, but we're driving along, and then I had been driving for a while, and I was really doing well. Interestingly enough, I said, Mom said, pull over, I'll drive now. We were coming around a bend, and if I had been driving, we were coming around a bend, and a car is coming straight for us. Well, my mom quickly did what you do to get out of the way. Had I been driving, I might not be here talking about
You're like the luckiest person
ever.
I
might not have been here to talk about those roundabouts.
And then I wouldn't have been here.
And there you go.
And so on, and so on, and so on. It's like Back to the Future, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's a definite memory. But as a driver, even your dad said to me, you are a good driver.
Not great.
It was, no, but it was something, that was more than romantic.
Good was the low
that was
thing.
That was more than romantic. When
Good,
he
great,
said,
excellent. Oh, that did the number?
It was it was tender.
I'm going to run upstairs. Hey, Chris, you're a good driver. What do you say? What do you say
Dad was a good driver.
I'll tell you what, Dad I thought he did a good job of teaching us, like, some common sense driving stuff.
Yes.
I can still hear, like, some of those, like the fog line. So when you're driving and there's, like, the stripe that's on between the road and the shoulder. When you're driving along and there's someone with, like, really bright lights coming, you just kind of keep an eye on that and not on the oncoming car that could kill you. I guess, they left that part out, but so you don't go blind.
Oh, I just close my eyes.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
That's how you got through that?
Yeah.
Turn your lights off and just hope for the best.
Confuse them.
Well, when Dad had listed, he was 2 years at the community college here in Rochester, and then he enlisted and was stationed in Germany, and he was with the transportation division, and he drove all over, and then he was able to take side trips and go to France and all over, and so he just was so good at being a driver.
So in other words, he saw London, he saw France.
We'll leave it
Don't
at that.
finish it.
We'll leave it at that.
Is this before he knew you?
Yes, I met Dad at Iowa State. I was teaching there, and he had
Teaching
come out
where?
of
Iowa State?
Iowa State. He was coming out of the service and was at Iowa State finishing up his degree in landscape architecture. And so there was a group of guys down at the end of 210 North Highland, and a group of us, 3 other instructors and myself. And so it was just interesting when I look back at different ways in which you meet people. And that's when I met, and then Dave, and I'm with 3 other instructors. And so the guys come up, and guess who made an apple pie? My husband. Not then, he wasn't my husband.
Dad made an apple pie? He's colorblind.
Well,
Did it taste good? Was it sour?
your grandma and grandpa had an orchard in
Yes.
Rochester. So anyhow, Dad really was a good cook. And so anyhow, back to my story, we're having the apple pie and chatting and that. And so I learned this. Willie, who's one of the guys, said that Dad had said to him, well, I think I'll ask Angela out. And Willie says, who liked Angela, said, I don't think so. I think she has someone. So then Dad says, well, then I guess I'll ask Ellie out.
I'll settle.
Now, mind you, I was pre-engaged.
Yes. You know what? She was pre-engaged to a person called Reynolds. That was his first name.
He was from Georgia. No.
Do you have a speech impediment, or is that your southern accent?
Well, I'm trying to be southern.
Georgia.
Yeah. So anyhow, and I broke his heart.
Hey.
I broke his heart.
He couldn't make a pie, man. Gotta come straight with the pie.
But I loved Reynolds, but I was not, as I was with your dad, it was instant. And it just was meant to be.
Steamy in here.
Well, if Reynolds was a listener, he's not any longer after this.
We
just lost a listener.
His heart had just healed. And like yesterday, he just kind of finally came to grips with it.
I could hear it crack again.
It's 57 pieces.
Anyhow, I know I broke his heart. And when I had told him that...
We're through?
But then he drove... I was... Dad and I married 10 months after we met. And so we met in September and married in June. Well, Reynolds, brokenhearted, I flew in to get ready to get married and that. And Mom met me at the airport, your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, honey, Reynolds is here. And I said, really? And she said, yes, he just still doesn't understand what's happening.
You had a stalker.
So you thought it would be like the end of The Graduate, where you would leave with him on the bus.
I don't know. He was there and we talked and that. And
did he try to kidnap you or anything like that?
No, but as he was leaving the next day.
Did he keep turning around? Oh, nope, she's not looking. Oh, how about now? Nope. She's not running.
Well, he had gotten his master's coaching. And he meant it in such a way for how I was coming across. He said, we hugged goodbye, but he said, you would have made a hell of a coach's wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he went on to make millions selling aluminum foil.
No.
That's a last name, probably, not a first name.
You don't know that.
I don't.
What about Reese's? That's the first last name. Could be either.
Anyhow, these are memories.
These are
that you.
How have I known you my whole life? And is that a weird statement? I've known her my whole life. I've known you longer than anyone else. Oh, Mom, you're my best friend. Anyway, but this Reynolds guy, you think he's still around?
I do not know.
Are you on Facebook? There can't be too many Reynoldses out there.
I do not know, but he did. Eventually, I learned, because he loved my mom.
Also, what did he coach? Like basketball? Or?
I didn't get real acquainted with that.
Oh, okay.
But
he liked your mom?
He and Mom were just, and Mom
Did Mom not like Dad then because she was a Reynolds guy?
No, but it's just that it was hard for my mom, who thought, anyhow, I broke his heart, and I feel badly. But he did finally, telling my mom over whatever amount of time, that he did marry.
Oh, good.
And there you go.
Was it Angela?
No.
That would have been a good little...
I think her name was Harriet.
Oh, who names their kid Harriet?
We all have memories.
When I think of a Harriet, I have just an image is in my head. It's just like, whoop, and it's like, it's a severe looking person. It's not somebody with, like Marilyn Monroe looking Harriet. Or Henrietta. That's another one that's kind of a Henrietta.
Try to get over it.
I'm working on it. I'm seeing a couple of therapists. I think we're about out of time here.
We are.
Do you want to say anything in parting? Any words of wisdom that don't involve your old boyfriend or your hands? Because we covered those already.
I guess I would say my favorite expression is make a difference. Make a difference.
Got that, Mark?
Which we are trying to do with our podcast.
That's right. Make a difference.
If we can brighten one person's day.
That's it.
Sometimes it's not even one person, but anyway.
Well, I'm delighted. I would never imagine myself talking into a microphone with two good-looking guys. You told me to say that, didn't you?
Mark? It looks like Mark's handwriting. I don't know.
I have to say, this was a most enjoyable experience.
Good. Well, we're glad you could come.
And that I've lived long enough to have this opportunity.
Well, don't do that, because at one point, all three of us will be dead at some point. But I don't want, if you go first, that, it's like, oh, she didn't make it to the 90th. Wait.
We all are
89.
We all are just passing through.
Like a corn on the cob.
And trying.
Corn off the cob. I don't know why they call it corn on the cob. But anyway.
And try to make a difference.
If you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need.
That's my parting remark.
Well, Mom.
Make a difference.
Thanks for coming on the podcast. We really enjoy you.
Thank you.
Mark likes it. It's all Mark's idea. You know what Mark's middle name is? Reynolds. Anyway.
Give me the initial.
I was named after a fellow from Georgia.
Come on.
Jimmy Carter?
Come on.
No, Reynolds from Georgia.
Georgia? Oh, Georgia. Is that guy Star Wars?
I always wondered why he was so angry and depressed all his life. But
I must say...
I'm kidding.
What's your middle initial? I'm going to guess.
J.
Mark, John.
James.
Mark, James. That was my second guess.
I was going to go Jehoshaphat. Mine was Jim.
Jim.
James
Andrew.
Oh.
Because...
You want to give him my social security number real quick? Then we'll sign off.
When Jim was born and the nurse... And I said in the delivery room...
When she screamed?
Oh, that's James Andrew. So then the nurse took Jimbo, out to show him. And
to show my dad.
His first remark was, "Oh, Andy. Oh, nice." And the nurse said, "That's not what your wife called him." So we hadn't gotten it clear. Andrew James or James Andrew. And I won out, James Andrew.
All right. Well, I think really I won out.
But who you really are is Jimbo.
Oh.
Yes. And I could tell funny things about you that you wouldn't believe. I will tell one.
You've already told the Splinters one.
Good memory.
Thanks, Mom. Do the one where I was getting my tonsils out.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember me getting my tonsils out?
I do that, but I don't.
When you tricked me and took me to McDonald's?
Did you say...
Jim gets to go to McDonald's all by himself. Oh, wow. This is nothing unusual about this. Where are my brothers? Don't worry about them. Right to the hospital. What? I got tricked. Apparently I was at a little lobby area, whatever, at a pediatrician's office or whatever, and there was a little chalkboard or a little...
That was a good one.
Well, you can pick it up.
So Dad and I are talking to the doctor or something, and so here's Jim over at the little chalkboard. And so what does Jim write? SHIT. And then he erased it. And Jim, thanks, because I hadn't recalled that.
Okay. I think it's time to go.
I know. Literally.
Yes, well, this is a pretty good Minnesota goodbye, so thanks for listening, everybody. Special edition, holiday edition with my mom. Happy holidays, Mom. Merry Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff.
A blessed day.
Yes, and good luck on that roundabout. Whew. Oh, you got to get through the roundabout now, otherwise these words will haunt me. So, I'm going to follow you.
No, you're not.
How do you know?
I don't want you to, because I want to be independent. I'm taking off my headphone.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're going to pull. You don't just jerk them off.
They were stuck.
All right. Well, okay.
Goodbye, everyone.